We all use elevators pretty much every day, but we barely give them a second thought. We just expect them to work. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden tech that makes an elevator ride feel perfectly smooth, quiet, and most importantly, safe. So let me ask you, when you get in an elevator, what makes it feel right? Is it how fast it gets you there? How quiet it is? Or maybe it's something simpler, like the way the doors just glide open and shut without a single jolt. It's funny, we interact with this stuff constantly, but we rarely stop to think about what's really going on behind the scenes. Well, here's the surprising answer. The absolute heart of a modern elevator experience, it's the doors. Yeah, the doors. They're not just a simple gate to get in and out. They are this incredibly complex system that really dictates everything. The safety, the efficiency, and just that overall feeling of quality. If you get the doors right, you've pretty much nailed the entire experience. So, what's the secret sauce behind these perfect doors? Well, at the core of it all, there's an intelligent mind. And in this case, we're talking about a very specific piece of hardware, the Selcom KM25 control board. You can think of it as the brain of the whole operation. Okay, so what is a Selcom KM25? It's basically a super smart microprocessor controller whose entire reason for being is to manage one thing, the open and close cycle of the doors. It uses some really clever algorithms to make sure that movement is always perfectly smooth, totally silent, and has absolutely zero vibration. No juddering, no loud clunks, just flawless motion. Now, this intelligence comes from a few key things working together. The microprocessor, the motion algorithms, all that good stuff. But the one feature that is a real game changer here is something called auto-tuning technology. This is where things get really smart. Auto-tuning basically gives the system a sense of awareness. It's constantly detecting things like the exact weight of the door panels or any tiny changes in friction on the tracks. And then it automatically calculates the perfect amount of power and speed to use. What's the result? Well, not only do you get that super smooth operation, but you're also putting way less stress on the mechanical parts, which means the whole thing just lasts so much longer. It's a huge deal for reliability. But look, a brilliant brain needs a powerful body to match, right? It can't do all the work on its own. So this intelligent controller is paired with the perfect power source to create one perfectly unified system. And that's where Comar's DC motors come into the picture. The Selco KM25 board was literally made to work with these motors. This isn't just a case of two separate parts that happen to get along. They were designed from the ground up to be a perfect pair, creating a system that's incredibly optimized and reliable. And what's really great is that this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. You can tailor it to the exact needs of the building. So for a low-traffic residential building where you want things whisper quiet, you'd go for the 80-watt motor. For a busy office building, that balanced 90-watt motor is probably your best bet. And for something really heavy-duty, like a freight elevator with massive doors, you'll need the 100-watt beast for all that extra torque. It's all about matching the right power to the right job. Okay, so we've got this amazing tech, this perfect pairing of brain and brawn. But what does that actually mean for your project? Well, this is where having an expert partner like novinpooya comes in, because they're the ones who turn this great technology into real-world value. When you get this system through novinpooya, you're really getting 4 huge wins. First, and this is the big one, is safety. The speed control is so precise, and it works perfectly with things like light curtains. You know, those infrared beams that stop the doors from closing if something's in the way. Second, because everything runs so smoothly, parts don't wear out as quickly, which means less maintenance. That flows right into the third pillar, a much longer lifespan for the equipment. And finally, you get the peace of mind of knowing you have access to guaranteed authentic parts and expert support from people who really know their stuff. You see, this is about looking at the bigger picture. It's not just about buying a component off a shelf. It's a genuine investment in the reliability, the long-term performance, and frankly, the reputation of your entire building. All right, so let's just zoom out for a second and wrap this all up. When you combine this level of intelligence from Selcom with this kind of optimized power from Korma's, you're not just making a small improvement. You are fundamentally elevating the standard of what's possible. And that's really the key takeaway here. This combination, the Selcom brain and the Korma's muscle, isn't just a tiny step forward. It's a legitimate leap. It sets a completely new, higher standard for performance, for reliability, and for safety in the world of automatic doors. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It captures the whole idea perfectly. You're getting this new benchmark in technology, but you're getting it with the confidence that comes from an expert like novinpooya standing behind it. It's the best of both worlds, world-class technology with reliable expert backing. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. When it comes to a system that people rely on every single day for their safety and convenience, a system they trust without a second thought, isn't your project worth building on a foundation you can truly, completely trust?